So AI is
Hmm.
an overbranching term, right? Artificial intelligence. Then you have machine learning, and then you have deep learning kind of in that pocket. You have unsupervised learning and supervised learning. Uh, do you mind if I flush that out a little bit more?
Flush it out.
Please do,
Flush
yeah.
it out. That's what we're
Please.
here for.
Okay. So, unsupervised learning is stuff like dimension reduction and clustering. So, whenever you see a bunch of points coming really close together, like let's say you want to figure out your perfect target market, you have all this big data out there, right? You want to find your perfect target market. You run it through a computer and you go, okay, what things are most similar on your target market? And it starts putting them into little bubbles. And you get down to three little bubbles, and then you've got three target markets. So you can take millions of different types of features on customer personas and flush it down. That's unsupervised. You
Hmm.
get into supervised learning and you start to see things like multiple linear regression models, which is a lot of words there. Got to say that. But essentially, you're taking something like you've probably seen it on trying to predict out your price. Where should your
Hmm.
price be at? Okay, my price is right here, but where is the supply and demand curve and how
Yep.
much can I hike that price? That's a linear regression. And you
Hmm.
can get into multiple linear regressions. You can use a lot of variables. You have the algorithm, therefore it's supervised learning, and you have to have labeled data to do it. So you take the price, you take one variable, and you predict out the rest. You take the price essentially where it's just now, and from the supply, you're able to predict out where should I be. So pricing. Now, where we started to go is something called deep learning. And that's something you hear about. That's the black box. I could show you the black box. We could dive into that. I actually got a little magic trick that I used on my final presentation at MIT. Hopefully, they didn't dock me points, which I think will make it really clear with the black box. This is where people get really afraid of the black box. It's not that scary. But essentially, what it is instead of having an algorithm that we would do, deep learning is you write some code and then you let the computer figure out what the algorithm is for you. But that algorithm is kind of, it's not exactly a black box, but it's hard to go back and pinpoint what algorithm they actually use to do that. That's where you start getting into your image recognition software, some of that stuff, all the cool stuff we're talking about. And then, I mean, if you want to go a little step beyond that, we could talk about it. You get into your recommendation engines. Recommendation engines are stuff like search engines,
Hmm.
who you connect with on Facebook, your dating sites. Oh, you might like this person. Swipe left, swipe right. That's all recommendation. So we're already using this technology. The generative stuff has been really new. And it comes from something called GANs, which is generative adversarial networks, which I just had to look up before this, so don't feel bad if you. But essentially, you have a computer that's trying to create things from a bunch of objects that you give it, and then it's trying to trick this other computer. I'm using that as a vague term on whether or not it was created by an AI or a human. And those have gotten better and better and better. And with ChatGPT, some of this other stuff, that's what we've been really talking about is how good can a computer be at creating something from all these other things that we've seen?